Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So Persona cannot be Persona without personas. Like, bear with me for a second. So in today's video, I'll be explaining how personas work in this game, how you go through the Velvet Room in this game, how that works, as well as just a bunch like how you get personas, how you fuse personas, as well as how you level up personas, and basically all the Persona good and action that you get in Persona games, how you do it in Persona 5 the Phantom X, and how does it work in a live service game. So if you do enjoy these videos, definitely don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. I'll be doing a bunch of Persona 5 Phantom X content, and I'll be doing a bunch of live streams leading up to release as well as for global. So definitely keep it locked on this channel. So how does Personas work in this game? Well, Personas are basically the same in this game as you expect with other games, where the protagonist, Wanda, is the one who can it's the only one who can swap between different personas as the wild card, quote unquote, just like with any other protagonist from any other Persona game. So as you can see here with my Wanda, I have Cerberus, Queen Marv, and Isis, and basically personas in this game, you can swap between, in combat, you can swap between all three of these personas. Now, how do you get personas? Now, to get personas, there's a bunch of different ways to get them, but mostly how you would be getting them is actually completing these daily stamina stuff. So your stamina sort of grinds, so for like character materials, level up materials, skill materials, all that sort of good stuff. And this is how you get personas basically. So all you do is you spend stamina to beat these, and then you have a chance of getting that specific persona. And as you get up the higher the ranks, you can get higher ranked personas. So you can see here, you can get cert here. There's also a pity system. So basically if you beat cert, you don't get cert, then it goes to a pity. Once you reach pity, you're guaranteed to get that character. You can also boost them with your daily reward boosts as well. And yeah, all you have to do is beat these personas in order to get them. Dionysus, for example, is a very, very good persona that you want to get because it's a very good buffer persona in the endgame. And yeah, you basically just spend stamina to do this and then have a chance of getting the personas. You can also get personas through the, through the shop. I guess that's what we're calling it. So you can see here, there's different currencies that you get through completing different tasks in the game. So for example, your gain from all Persona farm challenges. You can gain these from rank 6, rank 7 challenges, which is what I showed you before in your daily stamina like challenges and whatnot. You also can get super high level rainbow wildcards or rainbow wildcard emblems through Sea of Soul trials, as well as challenge rewards, and these can be used to unlock your super high end personas here, as you can see with Yoshitsune here, which actually I can unlock, which I might actually do. And then all of these as well through your SOS trials as well, that you can get them. SOS trials or Sea of Souls trials is basically the end game content, and then if you beat those, for example, you have a chance of getting those personas as well. So briefly discussing your team building as well, obviously everyone in your team or in your party will have their own persona as well. And these personas scale off the character's levels. So character's level 80, your persona will be, their persona will be level 80, 70, etc. One is a bit different. One is max level would be 80, but you can level all these up to level 99, I believe, or level 95, I think is the max. But basically everyone has their own persona, and each persona has a strength, weakness, has their own stats here as well, and they also have 3 skills, usually 1 highlight ability, which is like an ultimate ability, as well as 2 passives. I will be going over combat basics and everything to do with combat in another video, so definitely keep it locked in this channel, subscribe to stay up to date with all my Persona 5 the Phantom X content. So going back to Wanda, you can see that we can actually select 3 different personas, and with Wanda specifically, and the reason why you want to fuse personas rather than doing, leveling up your other characters and all that sort of stuff as well. So you want to kind of level them up both at the same time, because Wanda's stats as well as Wanda's archetype are based on the personas that you equip. So Wanda's stats are his equipped personas stats combined. So if you combine 3 really high level attack personas that have really high attack, then your attack will be increased. If you have defense increase, speed increase, etc, as well as your crit rate, crit damage, and all that sort of stuff as well. Most of these additional stats here can be obviously attained through battle with different damage bonuses and different passives and abilities and skills, but you can also achieve them through weapons and as well as your personas, which is why it's very important to level up your characters as well, just to get raw stats, as well as leveling up your characters' character skills and everything like that as well. So as you can see, I'm been a bit lazy on Rin's one here, but you can level up the skills as well. So it's very important to do that. But it's also very important to fuse high level personas, because if you're level 80, but your personas are all really low level, level 40, then your stats will be mostly at level 40, which means you're just going to get rolled. So that's why it's super important. So I already went through how you achieve or how you get personas. Now, how do you actually fuse them? How do you make them super good, level them up, as well as inherent skills? Well, welcome back to the Velvet Room. So you can see here we got Igor, and we got this lovely lady here, Merope. So she is the new Velvet Room attendant, and she is the one who will be doing your persona fusions essentially. So essentially in this game, persona fusions are, well, it says expand tunnel here, but this first option here where my mouse is your persona fusions. VIP servers is where you level them up, basically, that you can choose. You can also essentially inherit skills here as well. And then here you can just check the stats of your personas as well. So VIP servers is where you level up and inherit skills. And this last one is the compendium. So the compendium works basically like any other sort of persona compendium. So if you really want the sort of persona, for example, then you can easily just skip your fusion steps and just automatically get it, just using the materials and different personas that you obtain. But you can also get personas through the gacha system as well. So it's not just through defeating all the enemies in the stamina system. You can also get personas through the gacha system. So I didn't mention that before purely because just in case, I don't know, just in case someone doesn't really want to pull in the gacha system at all besides all the free stuff. But you can get your normal personas or your persona constituents in order to fuse personas by just using stamina as well. And you don't actually have to participate in the gacha system at all. But you do get, you do essentially get the personas from gacha as well. So let's just take a quick look at how you would fuse them. So obviously, just like with anything, you require certain different levels of personas. In saying that though, just because you obtain the persona, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can actually fuse the persona. You do require multiple copies in order to fuse the persona. I believe, especially I think for the blue ones, I think you can just fuse them outright just because they're really low level. But anything above like gold and rainbow, I do believe that you need to obtain the persona at least 2 times, so you can fuse one away essentially, and then keep one in sort of use case for it. So once you fuse a persona, it's not like in other persona games where you can fuse that persona away and you have to buy it back from the compendium. Once you fuse a persona, you can just always use that persona. Therefore, you might need to, in order to use that persona in fusion, you might need to get another persona essentially. It's essentially the same thing, but that's just how it kind of works in this game. But it's a bit different in this game as well, that I guess you can search by fusion type, I know, in modern personas, but in the old ones, you kind of just have to combine different personas together in order to potentially get the one that you want. But in this game, this list here is essentially everything that you can possibly get in terms of fusion. So for example, if I really wanted to get a Lakshmi, for example, then I can just fuse the Lakshmi as long as I have the Cerberus mark as well as the Seth mark. So I'll just go through this very quickly. So for example, Neko Shogun, I can just fuse the Neko Shogun. For example, you can check it out, Neko Shogun skills. So all this here, all the skills basically that shows it. You got your sort of strengths, resistances, and weaknesses. And if you really like it, that's all good. And you can see these 2 blank slots here, which basically means that you can inherit skills. So inherit skills. So once you finish fusing the persona, you can go to the VIP service, and this is where you level up the persona. So for example, if I had leveled up for example, Principality, for example, right? So all I do is spend level up materials here. So these are your persona chunks, etc., etc. You can also use different other personas to level up your persona, and then that's how you level up your personas. And then you can actually, if the rank of the persona is high enough, you can actually increase the level cap. So you can see the level cap here. So I can only really increase the level cap 1 more time. But for example, if I go to Cerberus, I can increase the level cap 2 more times. In order to increase the level cap, you either need a golden coronet or you just need another Cerberus mark to increase the level. So that's basically how it works. So essentially, you're just fusing a bunch of personas that you really, really want and or really happy with in terms of abilities. You can level them up through your basic level up system. You can also inherit skills. So here, for example, you can choose to inherit skills. If I use Anzu to inherit, you can randomly inherit one of these skills, for example. And this is how sort of the gacha system works. how the gacha system works, where it's all random, so you kind of have to keep going until you get the ones that you really, really want. So similar to like when you re-roll like artifacts in the Hoyo versus games, for example, stuff like that as well. So yeah, you can obtain personas through the gacha system. You can also obtain personas through the stamina system. You go to your list of who you want. So it's very, very straightforward. So if I really, really want a Dominion, then I need to go for a Titania mark. And as you can see, the only way to obtain it is through Velvet Room Fusion. And then Oberon, I can actually get Oberon by defeating Oberon in the stamina system. And then I can fuse. And then once I fuse that persona, I can go to VIP service. And this first option here, masses, in order to actually level it up. And then if it allows me, I can actually level up the cap again. So essentially ascend it. I just need another copy. And then if I want certain skills, for example, so if I really want Cerberus to have like, you know, like heat up, for example, where it increases the attack, then I just basically use Anzu and essentially just keep going until I get heat up as a certain one. But also just make sure that when you do check the stats and stuff, you can see here, actually the equip skill is just the skills that I can equip, but you can see here all the spare slots is all the inheritable skills that you can have. So that's essentially it. You know, you can buy back your personas, or you can fuse additional personas through your compendium. And every time you register a new persona as well, you do get insight, which is used to level up Wanda even more, which I'll go through again in another guide. But that's essentially how personas work in this game. So you do fuse them as per usual. There is a companion system, there is an inheritance system, but it's a lot more streamlined than other Persona games. There's no faffing around with like, you know, EXP bonuses from like, what are they called? The names escaping me right now. It's not star signs, but the tarot, oh my god, the name is escaping me. But basically, like, you know, the arcanas, that's the one. So there's no faffing around with the arcanas and stuff in this game, which is a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Because I do feel like if you do add that into the system as well, it might get a bit much for players. But that's essentially how it works in terms of fusing personas. It's very straightforward. And you do require to do that because one, the stats are based on those specific personas when you fuse them together. So that's just a quick guide on how personas work. Obviously, when the full game releases in global, I'll be doing a bunch of different guides on how to fuse high-level personas, which personas you specifically want to fuse. There are plenty of other guides out there at the moment on YouTube as well, if you're really, really curious about that. But if you're brand new to the game, then I highly, highly recommend that every so often you have a look at what personas that you sort of need. So if you need a healer, have a look at some healer ones. So you can see here your different archetypes as well. And then through the gameplay guide that I will be doing another video on the channel, I'll show you the different archetypes, but there's like healer, AoE DPS, single target DPS, buffers, and debuffers. And if you need those specifically, you would try and find those personas and then fuse those personas. And then also when your character level goes up, so for example, my one is currently level 76, then what you want to do is at the very minimum, you want your personas to be level 60 and above, at least, plus or minus within 10 levels, I think is a good mark. Otherwise, you're just going to get rolled by pretty much every single boss or every single like endgame challenge if you really want to do it. But you really shouldn't be challenging for endgame until you're level 80 anyway. But in case in some of the story content, the reason why you're getting rolled is probably because your persona is just not strong enough. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please leave a comment down below. And please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on the channel. Again, I'll be doing a lot more Persona 5 the Phantom X content leading up to global release. And a lot more live streams as well, just chilling on Taiwan server. And I'll also be obviously grinding my global server account when that game releases. So thanks for watching everyone. Really appreciate everyone's time. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.